Hi, Linda Anderson from Linda Lou Creates, and I'm so happy you joined me. I'm here to share this adorable holder of all things sweet, from chocolates, even maybe a K-cup, to what's inside of mine, nail polish. How fun would this be to give as a gift to somebody with some of their favorite colors of nail polish inside? And items from the Best Dressed Suite are perfect for this. Suite can be found in Stampin' Up's mini catalog. I love it. So let's get started. I'll show you the front, show it to you from the side, and let's get started, okay? So the supplies you're going to need. First up, I was talking about the Best Dressed Suite. So items in it are the Best Dressed or Dressed to Impress rather bundle, and it includes the stamp set and the set of dies. Buy these together, save 10%. It's adorable. I love it. I can't say enough about it. As far as the papers go, let's start with the base. Let me bring this back in for you to see. The base is out of the Best Dressed Designer Series paper. This measures 4 by 4. Now it is scored. All 4 sides are scored at 1 inch. So put it in your scoring tool, 1 inch. 1 inch on all 4 sides. I'll get into the cutting of it then here in a moment. Let me finish up with the rest of the pieces then here. I just have one of the stitched shaped circles. This is the next to the largest one, and a coordinating scallop circle here in Purple Posy. So there's that for my sentiment on the front. For the side or front and back pieces, I guess I should say, here, I'm using Petal Pink. This measures 2 inches wide, and let me tell you, the length of it, it's going to all depend on your treat inside. If you had a K-cup in there or just a little bag of chocolates, you may want to make yours smaller, but because I have nail polish which runs a little bit taller, mine does measure 5 inches, so it's 5 inches by 2 is what mine runs. I also have another little piece here, and again, this one's optional. This is a 2 by 2 square, slightly smaller than 2 by 2, I guess I should say. It goes in the bottom of the box, and I'll show you what I mean whenever we get there. Just because, again, having the nail polish, I found it to be a little on the heavier side, so I just wanted to use this sort of as to help give it some support. I did stamp out of the Dressed to Impress stamp set this little flower image in Memento Tuxedo black ink. I did it twice, die cut it, and then used my Stampin' Blends to color them in. And I don't know if it's picking up the shimmer on it or not. I think it might, actually. Once I was done coloring, I added some Wink of Stella. Love it. All right, popped some dimensionals on the back of that too. As you can see, I went ahead and put the tear and tape on my strips here, right at the bottom. Again, I'll just kind of explain that sort of as we go. I need a little piece of ribbon then too to help close my tabs up here and for sort of a finished look. So I have this scalloped woven ribbon here with the Purple Posy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I want to show you my little goodie package that's going to come inside of the one I'm going to make for you today. I have my bottle of nail polish in here, and I'm using one of the printed gusseted cellophane bags that's also found in the mini catalog. Now it does run rather long. I want to say it's like 9 inches long, and needless to say, it's too long for this, so I did just trim it down to allow it to fit into my little holder here, okay? And then I just tied it up with some linen thread. All right, so there's my treat for the inside. And let's get going here on making this. So I went ahead and finished up this one, adding the tear and tape and using the scalloped tag topper punch, that's a mouthful, at the top. And this punch is found in the annual catalog, and the width is 2 inches, so that perfect, fits perfect. So push it all the way in, punch it, and there you have your top then. That's really cool. So we've got that. Now let me bring in my 4x4 piece of designer series paper. I am just going to cut on two sides opposite of each other. Okay, so I've already done this end, so I'm going to flip it completely around to come to the opposite end. Now I'll be honest with you, I have a hard time sometimes seeing my score lines, especially when it's a really kind of small all over design like this. So sometimes on the back I can see a little better, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now I could have used this side of the paper, but let me give you a quick tip and warning with this designer series paper. Some of the designs are unidirectional, and you're not going to want to use that for this project, because then one side they will be upright and the other side they will be upside down. So what I'm doing here is cutting up to my 1-inch score line along the other 1-inch score line. But I'm actually kind of angling in my cuts a little bit, ever so slightly. All right, so up to that score line with a slight angle, up to this score line at a slight angle, and I am done. Okay, well, almost, if I can pull this out. There we go. All right, so let's get it back. This is the side I do want to use and have on the outside. So now let's go ahead and fold on all of these score lines here. Okay. Okey-doke. Oops. Let me just pull that little piece out. Yeah, I just thought how cute would this be to put nail polish in. I always want to say a treat holder, and I guess it could be a treat for a friend. But yeah, so there we go. But nail polish, something different. I don't normally do as treats, so to speak. All right, so you saw how I folded that up. These tabs in, and then the flat side on the outside. Okay, so let me go ahead and get some adhesive, and I like to use liquid glue for this. So on these tabs, I'm going to put some glue here and some glue here. Okay. Now this is what folds is going to be on the inside, and then this tab folds up. The glue gives you a little bit of time to maneuver this around to make sure that everything fits into your liking. So give it a nice little maneuvering around, and there we go. Same thing over here now. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here and here. Okay, and then just pop this up, and again pressing it together and making sure that it lines up the way I like it. Okay, there we are. We're good there. Now here's where this little slightly smaller than 2-inch square of the petal pink comes into play. It's going to fit right here in the bottom of our little, I'm just going to call it a box. That way, again, it just kind of makes it a little more sturdy for something as heavy as the bottles of nail polish that, or the bottle that I'm going to be putting in. So I just put glue and then just kind of drop this in. Okay, and that's all there is to that. Now, here we go. It's time to put in our tabs. So these are going to fit on the inside of our box. Okay, so whatever side, you could stamp on this strip here. You could maybe even run it through an embossing folder, whatever you like to do. If you do run it through an embossing folder, I do recommend going ahead and punching the top out first, then run it through the embossing folder, then put on your tear and tape here. But I'm just going to leave mine plain. I kind of like it, prefer it that way. So now comes the hard part. My nails have started to break, so I'm kind of having issues here getting my tear and tape off. So I am going to go ahead and I just put it down flat against the bottom of the box. and up against this end. Okay, so all I did was hit it down at the bottom and then flat up against the side here on the inside of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the other one real quick. Okay, so off comes the release paper. So flat against to the bottom of the box, and then smack dab against the inside of it then. So there's essentially our box, so to speak. So I will then be able to put just some ribbon in there to hold it closed. Before I do that, I am going to go ahead and do my little greeting on the front of it. I love that sentiment that says, "Hello, fabulous." I just think that's fantastic. So I am going to start with this just kind of watercolor smudge look from this stamp here. And first thing I'm going to do is ink it up in the petal pink. I always want to say powder pink, I'm sorry. I'm going to stamp it off and then come back to my circle and off to the side a little bit. I don't want it smack dab in the middle. I do want it off to the side. Okay, so there's kind of that watercolor look on the background there. So let me close up that ink pad, open up my other one, which happens to be Lovely Lipstick, for the Hello Fabulous sentiment. So let me get that, and down that goes. Okay, let me close up my ink pad. Now again, I do have a scalloped circle here out of Purple Posy, so I'm going to go ahead and attach these two. And once I get them attached, I will also put on some dimensionals. Now, I already have one that has the dimensionals on. Now, you have to be kind of careful on how you put your dimensionals on. You want to make sure that they don't overhang, because the circle, the scallop, does overhang a little bit. So make sure your dimensionals don't hit there, okay? So they're all in a line here, kind of in the sort of in the middle area here. So let me go ahead and get that on. All right, so hello fabulous, and there we go. Now let me attach the flowers. Remember, I inked those up with Memento Tuxedo Black, and I colored them in with my stamping blends. So I'm going to just go ahead, put one. Kind of looks upside down. I'm going to go with it though. And the other one I'm going to overlap ever so slightly. Obviously I have dimensionals on these. And there's my second flower. Now I thought it just needed a little something else in there, so I am going to add a bow. I already have it here. I already made it up. Have a glue dot on it, and this is using the Mint Macaron sheer linen ribbon then. So here is my ribbon, and let's see, where do I want to put it? How about right there? Okay, and then let me just get my scissors, and I don't know, I like my tails short, so, but then it always seems like once you start trimming them down, one gets shorter than the other, and to try and even them up then. So, all right, so there's that bow. Now let me go ahead. I'm going to put in my little bag here with my nail polish, my treat for my friend who is fabulous, and her nails will look fabulous in that color. So I have a small piece here of this Purple Posy scalloped ribbon, and just feed it through those openings. Okay, let me bring it up and around and tie it up. Okay, if I cut myself enough, maybe I could, let's see, what are we gonna make here? Are we gonna be able to make it a knot? Maybe. And she's gonna do it. Ta-da! It's done. Okay. Now let me go ahead and get that evened up a little bit here. So, and let's get that little tag in there, that tail, and here we go. I have another awesome little holder here for a friend, a treat, a different kind of treat, and it is nail polish. How fun is that? All using the Best Dressed Suite products, so thought that was fantastic. Hey, if you like this video, please, please, please give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. That helps me out there too. I post new videos every Thursday, so I don't want you to miss out on any of them. I have a blog too. It's lindaloucreates.com. You'll find more projects there, and I even have a newsletter that you could sign up for as well. So thanks again for joining me, and I hope you get a chance to create today. Bye now.